delivery versus deliverability? What's the difference? Let's go through that together. Email delivery simply means the recipient's email provider has confirmed the email was successfully received. The delivered emails might be in the inbox, but that doesn't guarantee placement. It could be placed in the spam folder. Email deliverability, or inbox placement, is decided by the Internet Service Provider, or ISP. This is based on a number of factors, including your domain reputation, how often users open or click your emails, how often your emails are marked as spam complaints. Let's go over some ways to help the ISP recognize your email as wanted content. You can start by authenticating your email. This lends a greater degree of trust. Inbox providers use authentication to verify that the sender is who they say they are, which has a much better chance of landing in the inbox. There are a couple ways to do this. The first is with the SPF record, which will verify that your from email address is actually from you. This does require a specific business domain email address. You wouldn't be able to do this, for example, using @Gmail. The SPF record will verify that that email is specifically sent from you and someone is not forging it. Next is the DKIM. DKIM allows you to send an email that can be verified by the ISP. This is done by adding a digital signature to your email that associates it with your domain. When an email has been received with the DKIM signature, the ISP will use their knowledge about the domain to determine the best placement of that email. Basically, your reputation is the basis for whether to trust the message or not. Here's an example. You want to go into a club, but unless you have ID, you won't be allowed in. The SPF and DKIM is that ID that will allow you to prove it's you. Okay, you have both your SPF and DKIM configured. But that is just the beginning. Even though the ISP knows who's sending the email, but are being told through various sources that you have a bad sender reputation, your emails will still be filtered into the spam folder. Authenticating your emails is a great step, but there are other areas to take into consideration. Let's review those now. Contact engagement. The ISP looks at engagement, opens, replies, forwards of your emails. High bounce rates. Emails can bounce if the email address is invalid or if the email account was closed. Sending frequency. How many emails and how often are you sending? Spam traps. Opt-in forms attract spam bots who submit forms with what looks to be real email addresses, but are in fact fake, which can cause high spam complaints. This can also happen if you attempt to purchase lists. Spam complaints. How many emails you send are marked as spam? Having a contact unsubscribe is not the same as a spam complaint, meaning you should provide an easy way for contacts to unsubscribe so that they don't mark you as spam. Ensure your lists are current and active for the best sender reputation. Sending emails to a large number of invalid or non-existent email addresses is a negative signal to inbox providers. Reduce the number of invalid email addresses by immediately removing bounced emails from your active mailing list. Be mindful when using re-engagement campaigns. They can be tricky. Take special care before sending a large number of these emails. They often have the poorest deliverability and the highest spam complaints. Your list could also include spam traps, which look like real email addresses. Sending to one can indicate poor list hygiene. A smaller, more engaged email list is better than a massive but unengaged list. By keeping your contact list clean and current, you'll be sending to engaged contacts that want to receive your content, which will only increase your inbox placement and improve your sender reputation. Now, let's go into some more details of how we can accomplish this. Sending frequency. Between regular newsletters, special offers, and other announcements, What is the right amount of emails? Exactly what is too much or too little? By setting expectations for frequency and timing of your emails on the opt-in page, and then honoring those expectations, that will increase engagement, which is the building block to your good sender reputation. Experiment with segmentation. You can take segmentation as far as you like. Some senders segment based on time zones, engagement levels, or even sign-up date. Just about anything you can think of. Have your contacts confirm their email. Here are specifically letting their ISP know that they do want your content. A double opt-in adds a layer of confirmation to your sign-up process before adding new subscribed contacts to your list. There are 3 other main benefits compared to just a single opt-in. First, protection against spam bots, email scams, and fake subscribers, which could increase your spam rate. Assurance of valid email addresses. Your subscriber's confirmation lets their ISP know that they want to hear from you, and that consent is archived. Higher open rates and lower bounce and unsubscribe rates. A common question is, why would I want to make it harder for someone to subscribe? Single opt-in may build your list, but a double opt-in will ensure you'll have fewer unsubscribe, lower bounce rates, have a better email reputation, which all adds up to the ISP not sending your email to the spam folder. Have your email whitelisted. Ask your contacts to add your email address to their address book. You can do this by adding simple instructions to a thank you page or in a confirmation email. Whitelisting is your contact telling their ISP that your email address should be allowed in their inbox, that it's content that they do want to receive. Having your email address added to their whitelist, also called approve or safe sender list, can help your emails pass easily through the spam filters or junk folders and instead land in the inbox. Here are the most recommended email formatting don'ts. The first is link shorteners. Every link in an email points to a domain that carries a reputation. Oftentimes, spammers use link shorteners to hide where they're redirecting recipients. A single link to an unreputable website can prevent your email from getting to the inbox and also hurt your sender reputation. Only use legitimate links that aren't blacklisted. The more spam-like texts and phrases are used in your emails, the less likely it is to end up in the inbox. There are a number of free software solutions that you can use to check the spam score or spamminess of your emails before you send. But here are some basic rules. Don't use all caps. Instead, try personalizing your emails, establishing relevancy, and using catchy and delightful language. According to a study by Radicati Group, more than 85% of respondents prefer all lowercase subject lines than all caps. Colored fonts. Email spam filters look for variations of colors and font styles as first flag for removal. Overuse of styles and colors can be bad for email deliverability because shocking colors and fonts are commonly used by spam advertisements. Try to keep your email design no more than 3 font styles and colors. Exclamation marks. Like emails with all caps, emails with exclamation marks are food for spam filters. Exclamation marks are especially risky in the email subject line. To the recipients, they resemble true spam emails looking to scam them and are treated the same by the ISP. Spam trigger words. One of the easiest ways to avoid spam filters is by carefully choosing the words you use in your email subject. Some spam filters are triggered by certain words, such as free, guarantee, no obligation, and so on. Don't use video, Flash, or JavaScript within your email. By default, most ISPs don't allow the ability to view Flash or videos. Instead, use an image of your video player with a play button that links to the actual website that plays the video. Don't include attachments in your emails. If you want to send recipients something like a PDF, don't attach the actual file to the email. Otherwise, your email could get blocked by the spam filters. Instead, upload the attachment and use the file download link using an effective call to action button. Not only will this minimize the chance of being blocked by a spam filter, but it will also decrease the load time of your email. Don't use an overwhelming number of images or huge images. When sending emails, keep the image to text ratio low. Never send image-only emails. Send between 2 to 4 sentences per image. This gives the ISP insight since it's unable to see the images. Don't use super high resolution images. Instead, optimize your image by compressing it first. Add alt text to your email images. Many ISPs block images by default, which means that the recipient must first click a button approving the image to be downloaded. By adding the alt text to your image, it will help the ISP and the recipients understand your message even if they can't see the image. Do use familiar sender name. This will allow spam filters and recipients to know who you are. Do include your recipient's name in the To field. Personalizing your emails around your contacts can also be vital to their engagement with your content. Test emails before sending. Design your emails to work for multiple inboxes and devices. Test different ISPs and browsers. It turns out that each ISP plays emails differently. This might be time-consuming, but you'll want to at least test the ISP and browsers that your subscribers use the most. Create compelling calls to action. If you're featuring multiple pieces of content, you'll want to have different calls to action. But have one main action that you would like your subscribers to do, and the rest are in case you have time. Personalize when possible. Include elements of personalization. Part of effective lead nurturing is knowing your prospects. This will allow you to provide the most relevant offers that will receive the most click-throughs due to the nature of your emails. Keep your email design and copy minimal. Write a brief description of the content in your email newsletter, then provide a link to read more on your website. This will prevent your subscriber from becoming overwhelmed with the amount of information in the email. There is no absolute guidelines for email formatting. Since each ISP weighs emails differently and have become more sophisticated, it really depends on what they will or won't consider spam. Basically, regardless of the guidelines given, the only way to know what will or won't work for you specifically is by keeping a close eye on the content that is sent. Notice what is or isn't providing clicks and opens and make adjustments as needed. You now have the tools and knowledge to dramatically improve your deliverability, and I'm excited to see what you can create.